Okay, hello guys. Sorry to keep y'all waiting, I had to get all my live stuff going out. Okay. Okay, all should be good to go. Excellent. Oh, how did that go on? Hold on. There we go. There we go. Hey! Oh, hey, Bleedy, what's going on? How you doing today? Who threw stuff at me? Who threw stuff at me? Hygiene. Hello. But how are you all doing today? Hey, everyone. But how is everyone today on this fine Tuesday? Man, it's the most Monday-feeling Tuesday I've ever experienced, I will say. So, today is going to be a very interesting day today on stream because we are going to be doing my very first Better You May and Heartfelt apology on Twitter today. That's good. Hopefully you'll be able to continue being better. But anyways, today we are going to be doing my very first art stream because we are going to be making a... Almost freaked out today, though you calmed down. Okay, that's good. Anyways, so we are going to be making a brand new set of Fakemon. Feeling the heat, too lazy to get up. Ugh, feel that. I'm not looking forward to the heat myself. And I live in the Southwest myself, where it gets the hottest. God, I'm not looking forward to seeing my state become Satan's easy-bake oven. But yeah, we're going to be doing my very first art stream because we're going to be making a brand new set of starter Pokemon for my next Fakemon region, which will be all VTuber based. I need to go and get the proper inspirations here while I'm at it. But how are you guys doing today? Okay. I need to get one of my other inspirations in just a bit. Yeah, sometimes in Michigan get hot in the summer. Yeah, hi Cosplay Corgi. Welcome on in. Hello. So, this is actually my very first time showing you all my creative process on what it's like to make Fakemon. So, if you guys don't know, Fakemon, or which is short for fake Pokemon, are basically just fan-made Pokemon. And for the past few years, I have been working on my Fakemon region called the Ricora region, which is an entire region based on Brazil and Latin American culture. So I've been working on that for a while, but I'll admit I kind of been getting a little burnt out from posting, not gonna lie. But I do have an idea that's gonna help blend together my VTuber content and my Fakemon content, which will be my brand new... which is going to be my brand new VTuber Fakemon region. Yeah, I need to get the character sheets. Let's see. Yeah, because I don't often do this, but normally I keep them separate. But I think this is going to be a very fun opportunity to do with you guys. Okay. There we are. I need to get some more references while I'm at it. on. Let's see. Yeah, I remember you showing me a few before. Yeah. I've been working on the relaunch over the past year or so, and I've been slowly getting to doing more and more posts of it. Yeah, I do. I've also been working on 2 brand new ideas as of lately. One is going to be based on a new pseudo-legendary, which could be a pseudo-legendary based on the Patagonian Ice Dragon. Okay. Gotta get the last of it. Now I need to also get the animal inspirations. Okay. There we go. And finally, Orca. Ah! Who threw that? Who threw that? But yeah, I did show you guys one of my new ideas. I just got back, which is going to be the Patagonian Ice Dragon pseudo-legendary. And finally, I'm also working on a new regional form for the Knackley line based on Himalayan pink salt and rock candy. So anyways, guys, I think we're all ready to go. I just got all the references downloaded. Yeah. I still haven't had word from my artist for the past couple days, but he should be having the line art back in a little bit, I'm hoping. But if push comes to shove, I'll just message him on VGen. Not the end of the world, but yeah, if you guys look at the Fakemon channel, I did post my new Patagonian Ice Dragon pseudo legendary for you all to see. So yeah, we are ready. Oh, almost forgot. I need to change the category. There we go. Alrighty then, let's do it. So we need to first things first, we need to get the, let's see, import image. Okay, so you guys are about to see what my inspirations are going to be for each of the starters. So we have a grass starter based on Haruka Caribou, whose whole line is, you know, going to be based on caribous, of course. Let's see. Any way that we could crop this? I'm trying to figure that out. Well, I could probably leave it as is here. Yeah, I think that'll do for right now. Holy mother of... Yeah. Okay, I did not expect to see ass like that. Hold on. But yeah, I've been working on the Ricora region on and off for about the past 5 years. Surprise ass is the best. I know. Yeah, we saw nothing. I know. Okay, that's the... You guys saw nothing! You guys saw nothing! Now we need to get Shy Lily's character sheet. So yeah, saw what? Nothing sus here! Oh, God. One of these days, guys, you guys are gonna get me in trouble. But yeah, so our starters are going to be a grass caribou, a fire thorny devil, and a water orca. So for grass and fire, they were very easy to pick. Haruka and Zentreya are among some of my favorite VTubers in the indie scene, and I love watching their content a lot, and they were very easy choices for grass and fire. Water, on the other hand, was a different story. I had the hardest time trying to pick who would be my water starter because I had a lot of limitations on hand. Because one, I did not want to do any shark starters because I already made a shark starter. You guys know the T-Brunt line. He's my baby, my precious cinnamon roll. I mean, in fact, all my starters are my precious cinnamon rolls from deep down. And I couldn't do whales, well, at least the normal whales, either like bow, because I already have plans for a bow-based Pokemon, which is going to be a regional form for Wailord. So I kind of had to, you know, compromise a little bit, and I settled with doing Shylily instead. But yeah, we need to also get their animal inspirations while we're at it, too. Okay. Here we are. And then, let's see. So I know Zentreya's VTuber design is based on a dragon, but I wanted to compromise a little bit and base it on a thorny devil, which I think would be a very cool idea, especially for the evolutions. Because I already do have a really cool idea for how I want the grass and fire starters to evolve. Finally, orcas. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so we need to get I need to get my brush ready for... Okay. So we need to also get some inspirations for our starters. Because I need official inspirations for trying to figure out what I want the starters' body proportions to look like. Yeah, where is my references for Pokemon? Okay, so for the fire starter, I want his proportions to be quite similar to Gekwa, as you can see here. So, hold on. Here we are. Yeah, the little artboard's gonna be slightly messy, but I think we could work with this. Hold on. I got an idea. So... yeah. Well, looks like I can't do that. So, how are we gonna do the deer, I wonder? Deer, deer, deer. Well, he's a caribou, but still. So, my original idea for the grass starter was gonna be a moose, because that's what I admittedly thought Haruka's design was based on. But nope, it's a caribou. It's a caribou. And plus, we also have deerling as well. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Because I know deerling and Saucebuck's whole concept was centered around seasons. So let's see. We need to... because I kind of want to... hold on. Okay, so let's get started on drawing out the... Yeah, I have the Sugimori pencil ready here. Yeah, so the thing about starter Pokemon is they have a very big head to body ratio where their heads are about twice as big as their bodies. Because if you look at Gekwa, for instance, its head is massive compared to the body. And if you also look at some of the other starters like Sprigatito or Quaxley, that kind of thing. Yeah. So let's see. How are we going to do the... so I think what I might do is we'll start the deer off on all fours. Give him a nice little bean body here. So another thing I noticed about starters is they tend to be very simple on the proportions. So they go with very simplistic shapes for some, because I think I could probably pull up Sprigatito. Yeah, let me... Yeah, where are you, Pokedex? There we are. And if you even look at, like, the Gen 1 starters, even the Gen 1 guys had some pretty big heads. Not as big as how they would eventually become, but yeah. Yeah, save image as... There we are. Okay, quick access. But yeah, if you look at Sprigatito here, very large head, very simplistic proportions, that kind of stuff. Let's see. But what are we going to do about the water starter? I don't want him to be a fat bipedal whale fish thing, because I already did that with the Tiburon line. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh, we got a sub. Oh, man, Pirate Guy, hello. Sorry for showing up.
Hello, Mr. Razor. Sorry for showing up only rarely.
Oh, you're okay, guys. I still appreciate your support. I'm still happy to have you here, nonetheless. How you doing today, buddy? But yeah, this is my water starter right here. I worked with Art Grayrand on this a long time ago, and he is my little baby. This is something we kinda want to avoid as far as the proportions and stuff go. Oh, and we gotta adjust the transparency a little bit. Okay, but yeah, we're doing a brand new little art stream. Work's been rough, game release approaching, Black Flag resynced, so we're doing some Day Zero patch tasks. I see. So yeah, it looks like with Caribou, their ears are folded upwards. Okay. How am I gonna do this? So we want to keep the legs very, very simple. So... yeah, because deer legs are quite simple to do. They got like little square hooves on the bottom right here. We could probably bulk up the body a tiny bit. Okay. No, not quite that. Just gotta adjust the legs around like so. And then... So we're going to keep the snout very... no, I didn't want that. I want to keep the snout very thin here. Or at least as thin as I can allow it. Oh, that does remind me. We need to prepare the colors. So we're going to get a layer up. So Pokemon color schemes tend to be quite simplistic for the most part. So yeah, we're going to have like a, especially starters, absolutely. So I want to keep it to, you know, the simple greens. Yeah, there we go. Because I want to be faithful to the Vtubers color palette here. Because if you look at Sprigatito here, it has a very big emphasis on, like, light and dark green. Because there's, like, only 2 colors shown here. And it's got, like, red for the eyes and pink for other small details like the nose. Oh, Axtic! Oh! Okay, thank you for the 2 big cheer. How you doing today, Axtic? Good to see you. I'm really looking forward to our Gambling with Your Friends collab later today. Or, no, later this week, in 2 days as a matter of fact. But how are you? Hello, hello. And yeah, we can take a look at Gekwa as well. If we zoom in... So it's got like dark blue, pretty good. How about you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing a new kind of stream today, and we're doing a creative stream because we're making starter Fakemon based on VTubers. So I've kind of decided on what the starters will be based on. So we're going to have a grass caribou based on Haruka here. We're going to have a fire type Thorny Devil based on Zentreya. And a water orca based on Shylily. But yeah, the hard part right now is we need to get the proportions kinda. And we want to keep at least faithful to their color schemes. Yeah, I think that's a little bit too bright. We could probably cheat with the color palette a little bit here. Especially with as it evolves. So we got black. Maybe lighten it up a little bit so that it's gray, especially with the horns. But I think yellow would come in very handy for the eyes. Or blue, I should say. Okay. So we don't want to over-involve the color palette a bit. That's what we should be focusing on. So we got this nice bright cyan and turquoise. That might be useful for the eyes. But Shylily is going to be a little bit tricky, because we don't want to have something bipedal like this. So we'll probably get like a nice pale blue here. Maybe... white... Probably get some turquoise a little bit. And purple for the eyes would probably be helpful. Okay, so I think we got our color palettes down for them. But yeah, I've always wanted to do something like this because hold on, let me up the... There we are. So, as far as the starters for Winds and Waves, what starter are you guys most excited for? Are you guys Team Brow, Team Pombon, or Team Gekwa? For me, I'm personally a big fan of Gekwa, because it has the most potential to be either very cunty or very cool. Or both. That's the way I see it. Okay. Yeah, I think this leg is a little bit far off. Yeah, this is just going to be the rough sketch at the moment. Yeah, I don't really play Pokemon anymore, but I guess the brow guy from what I saw... Ooh, Zarin! Hello, Zarin! How are you today? Let me give you a shout-out really quick. Zarin's a good friend of mine I met pretty early on in my VTuber scene. How you doing? Just vibing, buddy? That's good. I am just vibing too. I am currently making my own Pokemon right now. Because if you guys don't know... Ooh, you're doing Overwatch, I see.
Fucking love this music.
And I presume Kiko's been having a very good birthday these past few days. And then, let's see. Oh my god, that clip is so old. Oh, I always feel that it's when we come across old clips of our content. So how should we go about with this, especially with the... let's see. So for the ears, we should probably focus on them being very leafy looking and pointy. Yeah, but yeah, I'm just vibing and watching you have a good stream. Thank you, Zarin. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, because last time I kind of went with, because last time we made, like, an ungulate starter, it was like the ears folded down. Let's see... Here we are. And we want to keep the proportions very simple and just not go too overloaded with the features. So for our little grass deer, it's going to have like the floof around the neck, just like what Haruka has. Maybe some floof around the ears too. That could help distinguish the silhouette a little bit. Okay, like so. Now we just gotta erase. Other than that, I've been looking forward to a new Beast Box figure that I've been looking on lately from AliExpress. So it's going to be a Triceratops named Sigma. I actually talked about this on my repo stream last week. And then, let's see, we're gonna make the tail a nice, simple, fat water drop. Oh, and of course it's going to have, like, the little brown hooves here. Because, you know, kind of like little Haruka shoes here. Okay. There we are. I kind of want to see how other people do did the grass deer type starters. Let me look. Okay, so we definitely want to keep it very simple, especially in comparison to Deerling. Okay, I think I see a direction that we could probably take it. Okay. We could probably get rid of this. And then straighten it out a bit. So, for the nose, it's going to be nice and round. Oh, and of course another quality trait about starter Pokemon, they have very large eyes. And I mean very large eyes. Let's see. But I need to look at more Caribou stuff. Like, What do other caribou calves look like? Yeah, they all have their ears up, so we'll probably be focusing on, having the ears, be upright. So we're going to, yeah, scrap a lot of this. Okay. So to distinguish it a little bit from deerling better, we're gonna have the ears like this. Here we are. Okay, and then get a little... Fun fact, our quarters, Canadian quarters, have caribou on it. Ooh, interesting. That's good to know. Yeah, here we are. And one good thing I know about making Pokemon as a whole, the eyes are like a window to what their personality is like. So I'm not sure what kind of personality we'll have our little grass caribou for, but what I do know is I know Haruka's on the autism spectrum like I am, so we're gonna make it very quirky, goofy, something like that. Let's see. Here we are. Okay, we could probably make the ears a tiny bit bigger. Oh, and of course they have like little nubs on their heads for their horns. So again, we don't want to bloat the design a bit too much, but I think we got a nice little base going on for our grass deer. So, what kind of eyes do we want it? So, how would other starters do it? We'll probably start off with a nice little base. Something like... Oh, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, like that. Like that. There we are. We got our grass starter starting to develop. We're gonna do the patterns a little bit later, but for right now, I want to focus on... Hey, Zerato! Welcome! How are you today? We're doing a new kind of stream today, so we're going to be doing a starter Pokemon making stream. So we're making starter Pokemon based on Vtubers. So we're going to be making a grass starter based on Haruka Caribou. We're going to be making a fire starter based on Zentreya. And we're making a water starter based on Shylily. I've been doing nothing but tech stuff for the past few days. Save me. I feel that, Leo. Welcome on in. How are you today? I see. Yeah. So I wanted to do like a brand new kind of stream. So usually how I do my Fakemon is I always like to draw them myself. And then I take it to an experienced artist to commission them. I'm so tired they pushed back your appointment. Oh no, I feel your pain. I feel your pain on that. So, who dares throw stuff at me? Who dareth? Dora Kaiser, man, everyone's been popping off here today. We got quite the audience here. I'm so happy everyone could come into my little doodling and yapping stream today. How are you guys? How are you? Okay, so we're gonna keep the eye line a little bit like this. But did everyone have a good Memorial Day? Yeah, the learning tech stuff has been very fun, very hard to get everything working. Oh, I feel that. I've definitely felt that, especially back in my days where I did programming and game development when I was in college. We're gonna keep the little horns very narrow and not take too much design space. Your poor microphone. Yeah. And we're gonna make this one very slim, but fast. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna transform. Okay, this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. And then, let's see. We want to keep it a little slightly hunched over. Maybe we're going to give it a nice little potato body for now. That'll be for a really good start, and we're also going to keep the design of the tail to be very simple. Yeah, because again, starters have very simple details. I'll probably get more references for you guys, especially of the Gen 10 Pokemon. So, and I could probably show you guys the other starters that I made. Okay, hold on. This is my little grass starter that I made, Igleaf. He's my little... I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, this is Igleaf. He's my little baby. I love him, I know. He's a cute little guy, and I love him. This is my water starter, Tiberund. He's my cute little baby shark. And I love him with all my heart and soul. And here is my fire starter that I did, Kittle. So yeah, this is Kittle. He's my fire starter. So, out of the starters that I made, which are the goat, the iguana, and the shark, which starter have been your guys' favorites so far? Are you guys Team Igleaf, Team Kittle, or Team Tiberund? I want to know. But yeah, these three are the starters I made for the Ricora region, and I've been working on them for a very, very long time. Like, I've been working on the region itself for about 5 to 6 years, but these Fakemon that I have, they were an on and off project for about 20 years, believe it or not. Igleaf right now is my oldest surviving idea. Fire! There you go. So for fire, it's a toss-up between the grass and the water ones. Yeah. So far, from my Fakemon region, Tiberund has been by far the fan favorite. He has definitely been the fan favorite for sure. Yeah, oh right, grass, not leaf. Yeah, yeah. Oop, hold on. I need my Sugimori pen. Okay. There we are. Uchu Link! Hello, hello. How are you today, guys? Man, we have, like, quite an audience today. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, Link. Of course you're being a Chaos Goblin by dabbing in my stream. I mean, to be fair, I do dab a lot in Fortnite, so it kinda checks out. Let's see. Ah! Again, what is with people throwing shit at me? But I guess I only have myself to blame on that one. I only have myself to blame. Let's see. So for Gekwa, he has very like flat rectangular images. So we're going to be focusing on a lot more slender proportions. Especially if you want to distinguish it from Charmander a little bit. So he's going to be fairly lean. Aw, thank you for the head pats, guys. I appreciate it. But God, Area Zero did not have to go hard in Gen 9, but it did. It was, in my opinion, the best part of the Gen 9 story. Ah! What was that for? What was that for? Oh, guys. What am I gonna do with all you Finn fans? Yeah, you guys are chaos creatures. At least Geist is using my channel points respectfully. Ah! No! Why? Why? Usually fire starters are not your region's choice, so outside of Fennekin, so liking the fire starter is ah! What the hell? What the fucking hell? Guys, not you too! Leo, Link, why must you do this to me, guys? What did I ever do to you? You got right. You guys are about as nice as that black cat I worked with at the cat shelter named Jellybean. She was a menace. Like, she would always try and break out of her room whenever she got the chance, and she would always jump up on my lap whenever I sat down on the chair. She is super duper affectionate, and she would attack any... You're out of monies? Well, you can watch. You can continue watching to get more channel points. Okay. We might have to move the body a little bit. And this is why it's always important to budget your channel points, people! I have 1.9 so I can throw many. No! Guys. So yeah, very lean proportions. Alright, guys. So he's gonna have like a nice little spiky tail. We're gonna keep the proportions fairly lean for the most part. So yeah, my drawing ability is very basic, but I know so many people in the Fakemon community that are outright amazing artists. There we are. Yeah, as you can see, my drawing abilities are very, very basic. But that's okay, because it provides a base for our artists to work with. Let's see. Ooh, nice! I think we got some good base down for the legs. Let's see. And then there we are. Because I know we had a fire lizard starter with a Charmander line, but this one's going to have a much different inspiration and concept behind it. So let's see. It's going to have nice sharp claws. And then gotta... Let's see. Nice. And then do that. Now, how are we going to do the eye? So, we're probably going to make them nice and ovular like Gekwa's is. But for the... And then... There we go! I see our starter is about to start to take shape. Ha! See what I did there, guys? Starter. Oh, man. I should run a sitcom comedy of sorts. And this is going to be one where the fire isn't going to be too prominent, but it is still going to play a very important role throughout its evolution, because they always have one bit or two where... Let's see... No, not like that, not like that. What I can do... No. So how are we going to simplify the proportions of the Thorny Devil and make it into a Pokemon? So... yeah, just gotta... There we go. Nice. But what I do know is our little fire starter here is primarily standing upright. But it's going to be a lot more lean looking than Gekwa is. I think I do have an idea for... Hold on. I got an epiphany. An epiphany is rising, my friends. And I can feel it. I'm really, really feeling it. Let's see. Keep the horns very simple and basic. But what are we going to do for the eyes? Let's make them probably the slit-looking ones. Very slim. Which give a good feel of its personality. Here we are. We're going to also add a very simple looking spikes on the back. And then, like so. Awesome! Okay, so the fire starter has its base completed. Now on to the water starter. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit because water starters are primarily based on semi-aquatic animals. So we know Squirtle is a turtle. We have Totodile, which is crocodilians. Mudkip, which is kind of a chimera of ideas. So we have axolotls, mudskippers, and salamanders, which are all the basis for Mudkip. Then we have, let's see, Piplup, who is a penguin. We have Oshawott, who's a sea otter. Froakie is a frog. Poplio is a sea lion. Sobble, it also does kind of cheat a little bit, because it's a veiled chameleon, which has nothing to do with being an aquatic animal. But they will make anything into a water starter, apparently. We have Gen 9, which was Quaxley, which was a duck. And now we have Gekwa, which is a fat-tailed gecko. Again, it doesn't really have much to do with being aquatic, outside of them hanging around ponds, catching stuff and what have you. So we're going to be going for like a chimera type starter for the water one. So it's going to be like rather pudgy in the head. It's going to be like absolute unit shaped. So he's going to be based on a mix of wolves and orcas, because orcas also have an inspiration based, are also known as sea wolves, especially with their pack mentality. Let's see, we're going to keep the dorsal fin here nice and simple. Okay, so there we are. So this one's going to be a very simple shape to do. And then we're probably going to make it look a little heart-shaped for the tail. Here we are. Nice. Very, very nice. Here we are. So, I don't want him to be like, you know, squishy, flat-looking fins like Tiburunt is. We're probably going to make him actual limbs. So, he is going to be a little sea pupper of sorts. And of course, he's going to have the iconic orca eye patch. Cute little guys? Yeah, they are going to be cute little guys. They are going to be very, very cute little guys. So, I think I'm going to have a little inspiration from Jeff the Land Shark. We're going to keep the proportions here very... So he's going to be kind of like very Jeff-like in terms of proportions. Yeah, I love Jeff from the comics. I know. Jeff the Land Shark's kind of my spirit animal in a way. Because he is the poster child for autism, in my opinion. Because how can you not love a little fat-ass land shark who can swallow the Infinity Gauntlet? Exactly. And Jeff's my main support in Marvel Rivals. It's funny, I was actually playing Marvel Rivals with some of my VTuber friends earlier, like Slumbering Lullaby from Whoop Chat. So yeah, we're gonna give him, like, little round toes, especially since he's gonna have some wolf inspiration to him. Yeah, he's gonna be very nice, fat, and pudgy. Here we are. Yeah, I forgot he's in that. You haven't played. Yeah, he's a very fun little support. And then we're gonna give him a nice little moe fang, because why not? And then we're probably going to make it, like, very prominently shaped parts on the body. That way the orca inspiration can start to shine. Oh, let's not forget the blowhole. You can't go wrong with the blowhole. Just wondering if I can include any ears on him or something. There we are. Because, yeah, I don't think we have an orca-based Pokemon, don't we? So, when you guys... You make another ability able to have 0 to Hero. I think that should be used more often. I think 0 to Hero is a very excellent concept for a Pokemon. Let's see. And then gently... Ooh, I think I've started to perfect the ear shape a little bit. Nice, 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 nice. Oh, we also need to get a layer in between, which is going to be our color layer. Yeah, love to have a region based on comic books that the starters all have 0 to Hero. That would actually be a very interesting little concept. I know my friend Brandon, aka Prag Magic, does a lot of Fakemon concepts himself. Yeah, apparently Kyogre is Orca-based. Yes! But I think for our Orca starter, he's gonna have some wolf inspiration to him. Because, again, the orcas are also known as sea wolves. He's gonna be a fat little fella. Yeah, so we're gonna go start by focusing on the horns. I know them as killer whales. Yeah, killer whales. And also, they're very sadistic bastards, because they will punt stingrays and seals for fun. I didn't even see the comics. I just read Zero to Hero, and all I could think of was Hercules. That was my thought, too. I definitely make the Zero to Hero grass type based on Kamen Rider. That would be pretty cool. But I already made a Kamen Rider-based Pokemon in my Fakemon region. And I made this, keep in mind, I made this long before low kicks. So we're gonna make these horns a bit stumpy. Okay. Here we are. And apparently we had a tiebreaker going on for our anime watch along, so I'm gonna do another poll after stream is over today. So we're gonna be deciding between either Kamen Rider Forze or Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. And we got some really good ones here. Let's see. And we're gonna have like little ear holes here. Let's see. And have some flowers here. Hold on. I think I got a better idea. Yeah, anime and Forze, lol. I'm just pulling your leg. I know, I'm kind of cheating a little bit, but I do want to introduce more people to the wonderful world of tokusatsu. I'm just doing my job to get more relevance in the tokusatsu scene. I mean, that's part of why I became a VTuber, to show people the wonderful world of what tokusatsu is like. I just watch Akito and repeat. Oh man, believe yourself intensifies. And deep breath. Don't forget deep breath. And I think these will do for right now, so... Yeah, I don't have a big enough audience to have a Discord server, but maybe you will at some point and do that. That's a good idea. I think having a Discord server is just a good idea in general, because it gives you a good way to do more activities outside of your streaming. It allows you to connect with your community. Don't worry, you're doing the same for spreading Kamen Rider as far as you can. Yay! More Kamen Rider love! Okay. Oh, hold on. Here we are. We gotta get a nice little ear here. Are these new mons? Yeah! We're making starter Pokemon based on VTubers. How are you today, Blackstar? So, if you don't know, I'm going to be making my next Fakemon region based on VTubers. But you have a core community of like 12 people too. Too much hassle to be worth it, I think, now. I totally feel that. Mine is kind of a mix of like my old FleshTuber community, my Fakemon community, and of course my new VTuber community. There we are. So my community has all kinds, and also my IRL friends. That too. That looks cool. Yeah. So our grass starter is going to be a little grass caribou based on Haruka Caribou. We're gonna have a fire type Thorny Devil. What are we drinking? Just water. Just good old fashioned water. Pure fresca agua. The fire starter will be based on Zentreya and a Thorny Devil. And the water starter will be based on a mix of orcas and wolves based on Shy Lily. hold on. Oh, we'll save that for the actual... Oh, I love the DS sound chip. I love, 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 love. It's just so beautiful to listen to and very nostalgic. Okay, there we are. Just gotta... Like, why did the DS era of Pokemon slap so hard in the music department? There was some good shit in there. Okay. So, yeah. And then... Bop. Bop. Yeah, I've been playing the Pokemon Tabletop RPG. Wait, there's a Pokemon Tabletop RPG? I kind of want to know. You piqued my curiosity. You can imagine the Thorny Devil having fire horns like Cyndaquil? Yes, that's the idea. It's gonna have, like, thorns made of a mix of obsidian and iron. Yeah, I think it's unofficial, but it looks sick. Yeah, it is indeed sick. Oh, I know, yeah. So, I already have ideas on what the starters could evolve into, so the grass deer, grass caribou, I should say, is going to be based on, you know, druids. And so I think the horns and its floof is going to get fluffier as it evolves. I think the fire starter is the one I'm going to have the most thought in. I think as it's going to evolve, it's going to start forging its, you know, scale armor of sorts. And when it evolves, it becomes Fire Steel Swordsman. So that way, it's going to look quite similar to Zentreya here. And Zentreya's VTuber was also dragon-based before going with the cyber model. So I thought it's a great way to kind of mix both those elements in. I'm playing a character based on Blaziken Mask and Kamen Rider. Ooh, that's cool. The Orca, I'm going to have a hard time working. I'm still kind of thinking of, but I think what I'm going to base it on is it's probably going to be like a thug or a gangster. Because Orcas are kind of like that. They're sadistic assholes. Let's see. Okay. We need to get the ear floof in here. Pirate? Well, not quite pirate per se. While pirates are water thugs, very true. But here's the thing. My shark starter already has a pirate motif. Because if you pay attention to its design, it has a little skull on its belly. Which kind of foreshadows what it evolves into. Here we are. We're getting... Your ears are ringing? Yes. So, would you guys like to... Oh, you didn't notice that? Yeah, yeah. I worked on that with my art. It was my idea, but my artist did such a good job fitting the concept in. So, would you guys like to see what they evolve into? Okay, since you asked, as you guys wish. This is the mid stage for the fire starter. His name's Cabraze. Here's my baby. And hang on, I gotta go move off Gekwa a little bit. And then we need to get the grass starter out. This is Verguana. He's the mid stage for the grass line. Yeah. And I'm going to show you guys the mid stage for the shark starter. And this is Sharkaneer. Here's my little fat fuck, and I love him for being a fat fuck. Yeah, we got Sharkaneer here. He's got a classic striped shirt for the crewman. Exactly. And I'm about to show you guys the evolutions. The final one. So, here's the final stage for the Fires type line. This is a series. He is a Fire Steel type based on mountain climbers and steel wool. Let me get the grass starter next. This is Galavern. He is a grass electric glider and also based on the Quetzalcoatlus and Wyverns, as you can see. And what's next is probably my favorite of the final stages. And he's grass electric, by the way, and he's based on storm gliding. And here he is, Captide. He is by far my favorite of the three as far as the final stages go. And he is actually a water fighting type. Yeah, he is. Like, there's a reason why he is my most popular starter in the Rakora region. He is a water fighting type, actually. And he's a very big bare-knuckled brawler. He's also based on Popeye the Sailor Man, which was a cartoon I grew up with a lot during the heydays of Cartoon Network. Yeah. So now that you guys got to see all of the starters in my Fakemon region, or my first one, as well as all of their evolutions and their typings, which one is your guys' favorite of the three? I want to know. Fire? Oh, yes. Fire is a good one. Yeah, I gotta put these away. I know, it is very hard when all the designs are absolute awesome. I mean, at this point, it'd be travesty if you didn't choose the shark. I mean, you're absolutely not wrong, guys. I mean, pirates are your thing. I mean, for what I'm gonna plan the water starter gonna evolve into, he's probably definitely gonna be water dark. Probably gonna be a more street thug gangster. I always was more ghost type than water, but you like the designs, yeah. I know I'm kind of repeating things with the fire starter being fire steel again, but it has a much more, but his stats are, I'm planning for his stats to be a lot more focused on speed and physical attack, while the series was a lot more well-rounded and tanky. Okay. Let's see. By the way, did you guys also see the new episode of Kamen Rider Zets? Let's see. Oh yeah, the new episodes of Zets was really solid, but we're definitely getting into clusterfuck territory. We're definitely getting into the part where shit hits the fan. Here we are. You've been wanting to watch it. You're confused. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's based on dreams, so it's going to be mindfucky from the get-go. About the limit between the real world and the dream world. Yeah, the line between the two is starting to get blurry. And also, Kamen Rider Dawn is about to enter his Kuroto Dan era. You know, where he starts off as a very serious and threatening menace, to where he's gonna be the comic relief. Like, I was actually talking about this with my friend a couple days ago, because Minami was kidnapped in the real world. No, wait. he was 7, so it was the dream kind of deal. Yeah, that's always annoying. Here we are. Erase this. Did you finish Tojima? I have not, no. I've been kind of busy with other stuff, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm a bit of a snob, and it's the best season of the Reiwa era. I will agree, it's very solid as a choice for Reiwa. For, like, the best Reiwa season. It definitely has a nice seat up there, along with Kamen Rider Gav and Geats. Yeah, Zets and Geats were... Yeah, Geats was another pretty solid season. Let's not forget the King of Orathar farming, that is Ace Ukyo. Okay. And there we are. The ending gets your adrenaline going. You always get the feel of watching it. Let's not forget the debut of Geats Mark 9, aka the biggest aura farming competition for any final form. Okay, there we are. But straight up skip Gotchard and Saber, so they go down the list. Okay, so I know Saber is one of those that's like a slow burn. Because the ratings for her were actually pretty good, especially in the latter half of the season. Gotchard, I will agree, it's a mixed bag, but the designs are absolute fire. You give every episode a 10-episode grace to hook you. Yeah, I think I remember... Okay, hi cousin, how are you? How you doing? I'm excited for the new Kabuto movie. Me too! Kabuto holds a very special place in my heart. It was the very first Kamen Rider season that I got into that wasn't Saban's Masked Rider. The less we talk about Masked Rider, the better, people. Free from work temporarily? Yay! For me, it's Agito, but yeah, you need the Psychic War. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, excited. That new Kabuto form looks really good. I agree. The one based on an Atlas Beetle? Oh, yes. G7 design rubs you off the long way a little, but it's fine. Yeah, Hikawa's a very solid character. If there's one thing I will say that I do enjoy about Agito, it's the sense of mystery and how it kind of starts off as, like, you know, unrelated, but the 3 different protagonists all overarch between one another, which is very, very cool. And of course, this is a... trying to remember the guy's name, but I know he also did Dawn Brothers. He also did Jetman. Hang on. Let me see who wrote Jetman really quick. Toshiki Inoue. That's his name. Toshiki Inoue is known for his very experimental, wacky ways of storytelling. Whether it's the 3 protagonist approach of Agito, the 3 timelines for Kamen Rider the 2 different timelines for Kamen Rider Kiva. There's, like, the Rangers trying to get together in Dawn Brothers, the soap opera vibes of Jetman. Yeah, he did a lot of stuff in the Heist era, and he also wrote an episode for, let's see, the Red Ranger becomes an adventure in another world, and he wrote episode 8 to be specific, and yes, there are a lot of references to tokusatsu in that anime, especially in episode 8, because it is just tokusatsu references the episode. Here we are. Yeah, those are just straight up weird, yeah. Once again, Inoue is the master of the mindfuck. Oh, this is actually pretty good. Like, I think this is from the Let's Go series. Okay. We're gonna make his... Yeah, we need to slim this down a little bit. Here we are. I mean, for the longest time, you wanted him back, but now the writer for Zets that also did X8 and 01, I think he's gotten really, really good, so you hope we get him more often. Me too. Me too. His seasons were all really good. Like, even ones like 01 that had a lot of compromises done, especially, like, with the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, that was messy. Okay. Here we are. There we are. It's starting to look really solid. Lots of potential, but ultimately a bit of a letdown. He really grew in Zets, though. Absolutely. Like, you can really tell that he really found his form with Zets. Because there's a great mystery element to it that I think Western fans just can't get enough of. Oh, yeah. We got an Embasa City theme. Let's dance. Hell to the yes. My homies always love this one. There we go. Starting to look a lot better. Okay. And then... Nice! And we're, of course, going to give it a nice little tail tip, which is going to be in a little obsidian iron spike of sorts. Now for the water starter, you just need to make it nice, round, and plump. Just like the Womp Womps of Shy Lily. Okay. Okay. Ah, yes. More nostalgic Diamond and Pearl music. Slap that music into my veins, please. Okay. Do-do-do-do. And then, let's see. Then, let's see. You built your first Pathfinder 2nd Edition character today. Ooh, tell me more about it. I want to hear more about people's tabletop RPG stories. Yeah, we're going to give him a nice little Moe Fang here. This one's probably just going to be part of its body. Oh, Heart Gold Soul Silver had no right to be as good as it was. Like, it still remains hands down the best Pokemon remake that they've ever made. He's an awakened armored ground cricket that is a summoner class. You're picking up Meld into Eidolon, so I can Angel Cricket and attack like a Common Rider. Okay, that is cool. That is such a fucking cool concept. Man, I played this song a lot when I was in my Cobblemon SMP server. We're gonna make the dorsal fin a bit on the stubby side. And then make the blowhole. What if we gave him like a little pupper nose of sorts? Let me try that. I don't think that might work. It could, but we'll see. We could probably compromise a little bit and maybe give him some actual nostrils. Okay, gonna lurk now, gonna do laundry, see ya. Well, thank you for stopping by, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your time, and enjoy your little lurky turkey. I can't help but imagine the Eidolon being Angemon when Fuse turning into Justamon. Oh my gosh, Justamon. That is hands down one of my favorite Digimon designs. And it's funny, I was actually watching my friend's Shay Long Dragon do his VOD on like making Digimon for VTubers. And of course, he chose Justamon as my mega level Digimon. I am not surprised in the slightest. But I can't go wrong. Justamon is just such a good design. It's really, really good, and it just screams motherfucking justice, bitch! Okay. Yeah, I think we got something going on right here. Yeah, that is the best depiction of him I've ever heard. Yeah! There we go. Let's see. Yeah, he's just Rider Man, but slightly more common Rider. You're not wrong on that either. You're not wrong on that either. He's gonna have a nice fat little tail. There we go. And then we're just gonna erase this. And I think we can move on to the next phase of doodling them, which is colors. Yeah, we're gonna make brown for the little horn stumps here. And yellow is gonna be for the ear fluff. Oh, I almost forgot. Hold on. I forgot to do the little tippy bits here for the rear legs. So what was your guys' favorite Pokemon game growing up? I want to know. Tell me everything. I want to hear all about the nostalgia. Omega Ruby? Ooh, Omega Ruby was pretty good, I will agree. Nice forest green. Like, I remember when that came out back when I was in college. That is a throwback and a half. And we're gonna do brown for the little hooves here. there we are. I may be thinking of original Ruby, but it plays nearly the same other than graphics. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Yeah, I think we got something going on here. Not bad looking. Not bad at all. Now we just gotta color up the fire starter here. We're gonna start off with the little claws. Okay, so now we gotta... Yeah, I think we might need to go for like a lighter shade of red. Not quite... There we... Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, it's kind of leaked a little bit. I always hate it when this happens. There we go. Now it's starting to look like a little starter. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see. We could probably spice up the design a little bit more. I will say that. But for the orca, that'll be pretty easy to do colors for. Yeah, did you ever watch Guyver Bio Boosted Armor? Yes, I did! I remember there was a moment where I was kind of hyper-fixated on that. Both the OVA and the more faithful anime adaptation. Yes! You know, did you guys know that in the Guyver Bio Boosted Armor OVA, that was Steve Bloom's very first voice acting gig, where he played Agito. And it was also a pretty big start for Tom Fawn and Melissa Fawn, who are also very prominent actors. Yeah! It was Steve Bloom's very first voice acting role, believe it or not. And it was like the first anime role that Tom and Melissa Fawn ever had. It's funny, I was actually talking to Melissa Fawn about this at Game On Expo when I saw her there a few months ago. Man, time flies. Wait, I think I got an idea. So we're gonna go and make this a little bit more pale. Look at him! He looks like a little pudgy boy. Okay. Now we just gotta move the eye covers around a little bit. I also do want to, you know, incorporate the markings of Shy Lily a little bit. Oh, wrong color. Yeah, I think this... Oh, it might actually be a super one. I think he also had an arm power. A super one? That does give me an idea. For, like, what we could do for, like, a pattern. There we are. And I think I got... Oh, Kamen Rider Super 1. Okay. Actually, what I might do is I'll actually change this to like a orange color. I think it makes a good way to contrast the bright, you know... There we are. But I'm not sure what we could do as far as patterns go. Like, what were we gonna do for its... where it could store its little heating organ? Let's try this. Not bad looking, not bad at all. But just something doesn't seem right. So yeah, we got something going on right here. But right now, the Thorny Devil starter looks kind of, admittedly, basic. Oh, right, I forgot to ask this last time. Do you have a command to get a link for the Discord? Yes. It's !Discord. I can actually demonstrate it for you guys right now. Yeah, like that, like that. It is the surefire way to join my Discord server and be part of the Samemaru Dojo. There we go. Hang on. Kind of keeping an eye on my emails as well. I'm really hoping that my new Beast Box figure arrives today. As I don't know what... Oh, I thought I heard it just dropped. Dang it! How dare you get my hopes up? So yeah, I think I got an idea on what we can do to spice up the design a little bit. So maybe something like... There we go. Excellent. Yeah, because we don't want something that's too Charmander coded. I really want this to be its own thing. I'll probably look at some inspiration over on Google right now. That might be a good idea to do. This does give me an idea. But what can we do to make it very, well, fire type coded? I wonder. What do you guys think? So, for the Graphire starter, what if we made its head feel like a helmet? That'll be a good way to distinguish it from Charmander a little bit. So right now, it just has little obsidian... There we go. And I think as it's going to evolve, it's going to have more inspiration of bearded dragons. That will be a very cool idea to do. I'd say fire spines, but that's been done, yeah. Like, I'm looking for metallic spines that could probably heat up as it uses its fire attacks. Okay. Yeah, because we definitely don't want another Charmander here, don't we? Okay. Here we are. Okay, I think I got an idea on how to spice up the grass starters design a little bit. So, what we could do is we could make them little specks. You know, kind of like a spotted deer. But what kind of patterns does Haruka have on her design? Yeah, I know she has the vine going around her leg. She has like the little pockets and of course the floof. You really can't go wrong with the floof here. How about maybe little stripes? No, I don't think stripes would work. Here we are. Oh yeah, we need to erase this a little bit. No, I kind of liked it like that. So yeah, he's gonna be a little sea puppy. A big, mean sea puppy. So yeah, we got all of that. Wait, I think I have an idea on what we could take with a fire starter. So, what we'll do is maybe it could be like a smithing apprentice of sorts, where it learns to make its own armor. I think that'll be a good way to distinguish it from the Charmander line a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, yeah! I'm starting to like where this is going, too. And what if we kind of get rid of the line here, so that way... Yeah, maybe the final level should have a giant smelting hammer. Actually, that might be good for the mid-stage, but I was thinking for the final stage, it would wield a sword. Like a sword made of its obsidian iron scales. Yeah, because the idea is it learns to smelt its own weapons. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that. So yeah, if you look at like some of the official starter designs, I could actually pull up Brout and Gekwa while I'm at it. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's see. And then, where are you? There we are. Brout. So yeah, Brout only uses 3 colors in its palette. Oh, hold on. Oh, sweet liberty, mamma mia. So yeah, Brout only uses, let's see, yellow, black, and green for its color palette. Where are you, Pombon? There's Pombon. So yeah, we got something going on with this design. It's got dark orange, light orange for the tips, and red for the little tips above. Ah! Can I please stop moving the wrong thing, please? Yeah, I might be able to simplify the grass starter design a little bit. Because right now with all the stuff it has going on, it kind of feels more like a mid-stage than anything. And we could simplify the horns a little bit while we're at it, too. I'm scrolling through Pinterest looking for art inspiration and found Zetz versus Freddy Krueger. Oh, I saw. I saw. We could probably simplify the horns a little bit. And just make them little bumps on the head. Here we are. Ah, Flossessi Ranch from Pokemon Black and White 2. An iconic classic. Yeah, we're gonna go move away from, like, the branch horns, especially since Deerling already did them. So, let's see. What other stuff do Caribou have? I'm gonna need to move the Brout out of the way. No, nothing too... I could actually do it for the muzzle, though. Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to see how it's gonna develop. I'm liking it. Yeah, I'd love to show off the art your artist finished, but I don't want to leak things before they're done yet. Totally valid. I was definitely like that too with some of my VTuber stuff. it was very hard to not share my live 2D model for a while. So I ended up just teasing it around. So I ended up just simply teasing it around Voop chat. Oh, I see a little coloring error here. Nice. Nice. Okay, so I think we got our starters finalized for now. Wait, I got one more thing for the fire starter. Hold on. I was thinking making it kinda make this pattern around the neck kinda like a, you know, a source of where it places its fire. And kinda like the opening of smithing furnaces. There we go, yeah. Okay, we're almost done here, guys. Well, at least with the designs for now. So, what do you guys think we could probably name our new starters? So, as you guys know, starter Pokemon names are basically a mix of 2 or 3 letters, all that stuff. Like, for instance, you have Brow, whose name comes from eyebrow and sprout. Fire Scarf would be cool. Names are harder. Yeah, Fire Scarf would be cool. Like, make it a little band around the neck. I love that. Like, this is one of my favorite tracks from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Yeah, I'm digging this. I'm digging this. Okay, so now we gotta get to the hard part. Naming them. So I don't want to tread too carefully. Oh my gosh, this song is so fucking feels worthy. Okay. So, for the fire starter, I think I have a vague idea on what we can name this one. Maybe Smelzard or Smelvil, which comes from the word smelt and thorny devil. Smelthorn. Yeah, Smelthorn. No, that kind of doesn't have a good ring to it. Something happened that is making me sad, so 2 people you heard that are getting foreclosure, the thing got worse now. They need 8.5k because legal process need to do it by June. Careful with trauma dumping there, Bleedy. We have a very big no trauma dumping policy around here. I'd prefer to keep personal stuff personal, please. Let's see. I know. Smelthorn? No. I think I got a good name for it. Ignail. Which comes from the words ignite and nail. Which kind of reference to nails smithing. Nailing smithing forges. Yes! I love that! Okay, now the hard part is going to be the grass in the water one. Because my goal when I do Pokemon names is I want to do something that's catchy and very fun to say, where it just rolls off the tongue. Like, for instance, we have Pombon, which is a mix of Pomeranian and Bonfire. Gekwa is a mix of Gecko and Aqua. Sprigatito is a very fun one to say. It comes from the word sprig, as in a helping of herbs, and gatito, which is Spanish for the word, which is Spanish for kitten. And then we have, let's see, fuecoco, which comes from the words fuego, Spanish for the word hot, and coco, which is Spanish for the word crocodile. And then there's quaxley, which is just a mix of quack and waxley, stuff like that. Let's see. How about for the grasser? I was thinking like puff-on, as in the puffiness of its flowers around its ears and neck. But baby caribou are called calves. Yeah, they're called calves. Maybe something like... Calfluff. Yeah, this one has me stumped. I get it. Yeah, I think calfluff would be the good Calfluff would be a good idea to take it in. Oh! I wanted it to be black. There we go. But I also want something like Petaphon. No. Like I said, I want to keep the name simple and to the point. Because I know caribou are also called reindeer, which is their more common name. Wait, I think I got an idea on how we could enhance the design for the little grass deer. So for the snout, what if it looked like a leaf? There we go. I am digging it. Now its design looks like it has layers to it. Oh, I know. Caflora. I love that name. Caflora. I love it. I love brainstorming ID. And it also helps to have a affinity for puns. Oh yes, and this song comes in to help out. Okay, now to do the water starter. Okay, so it's gonna be a very rough and tough orca. And has womp womp energy like Shy Lily does. Yeah, this one's gonna take me a little bit to figure out. Okay. Oh, this is not gonna be easy. Let's see. Splash, puddle, sea, wave, orc wave. No. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit tricky. Now, how do other orca... No. What's the scientific name for orcas? Because I know some Pokemon names also derive from their... Let's see. So just Orcanus orca. Yeah, Orcanus orca. Orqua! Here we are. Oh, yes. We got something good going on here, guys. Yes! I am loving how these progressed. And I think I'm pretty content with the designs thus far. So... So yeah, we got these done. And then save as JPEG. Okay, I think we got our starters done, guys. So this is going to be what's the base for my VTuber Fakemon region. We have our grass starter, Caflora. We have our fire starter, our Zentreya starter, Ignail. And we have our water starter, Orqua. I'm really happy with how these turned out, and I'm excited to get these commissioned later in the future. I just need to figure out a good artist to get these commissioned to. So I think with that said, I think this will be a good time to end stream here. So, let's see who is available to raid today. Let's see, Tyria, Tachyon, Ripper, Akio, Star Quantum. Oh, we got a lot of raid candidates today. Eon Silver, Lazy Leia, Kiwa Koala, I haven't seen her up for a while, and Azusa Kairu. So many people on today, you have no frickin' idea. Yeah, let the dice decide? Oh my. Okay, Tyria is doing Fields of Mystria. Tachyon Prime's doing Zenless Zone 0. Ripper Radio is doing League of Legends. Oh, and he has a little Litwick, too. Akio is doing Overwatch. Star Quantum's doing Helldivers 2. Starry L'Ariel is doing Overwatch. Ian Silver Rose is doing Trees Hate You. Lazy Leia is doing Gambling with Your Friends. Azusa is doing Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. And Kiwa Koala is doing ASMR. So, right now, it looks like Azusa and Starry L'Ariel are currently the finalists for my candidates on who to stream. Or who to raid, I mean. Horse. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do Starry L'Ariel. Actually, she's a Kieran VTuber, believe it or not. She's actually based on a Kieran. Oh, and Link, let me show you the starters that we made. So, say hello to our next set of starters. We have Caflora, we have Ignail, and Orqua. Which one is your guys' favorite so far? But we are going to be rating Starry L'Oreal right now. And we will be back on Thursday for a brand spanking new collab. Orqua, alright. But I will be back on Thursday. We're doing a collab when gambling with your friends that day. So stay sharp, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you all then. And stay within the abyss, my friends. If anything happens to him, I'll kill everyone, including yourself. Oh my. I mean, Orqua's just a little thuggy guy. But anyways, I'll see you all later, and thank you all for coming to my stream. I love you all. See you then.